Before we start the show, we'd like to thank our sponsors for 2025. SEBA, the Southeastern Beefmaster Breeders Association. Jones Beefmasters, Mr. Clark Jones of Savannah, Tennessee. Valor Cattle Company with Jordan Taylor in Hahira, Georgia. Rockin' RB Cattle Company, Crosby, Texas. Beef, the Beefmaster Education Endowment Fund. Our host, JCS Farms, Beefmasters, Jared Strickland, Savannah, Tennessee. Emmons Ranch, Beefmasters, Fairfield, Texas. Cottage Farms, Beefmasters, Jackson, Tennessee. Lissy's Beefmasters, Stockdale, Texas. C&M Ranches, Kershaw, South Carolina. Our other host, G&M Cattle Company, Josh Morrison, Taylorsville, North Carolina. And Sea Shepherd Beefmasters, McAllen, Texas. Thank you for all your support. We couldn't do it without you. Welcome to Beefmaster Banner. We're your hosts, Josh Morrison and Jared Strickland, along with Dr. Lance Bauer, the EVP of BBU. How's it going, guys?
It's been good. We've just been watching the snow today a little bit.
Been real good. Got a little cold down here for us in Texas. Can't really complain probably compared to y'all. We got down to about 20 this morning but
That's plenty cold, no matter where you're at.
That's cold. I think it's supposed to be like 17 here tonight. So I just come back from Fort Worth from the Rain Cow Horse show we were at, and I think it said it was 11 this morning with like a wind chill of maybe -2 or something.
Ooh.
Glad I'm home.
I heard it got bad there.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
They were calling for a bunch of snow here, but we ended up not getting. I mean, we got some flurries, but thankfully we didn't get much of anything, so it worked out pretty good. But
yeah, we didn't get a whole lot. We got about 2 inches maybe.
I know it's muddy, and I'm ready for spring. Man, I can't wait till it warms up and the grass starts growing.
Well, according to that groundhog, it might be a little longer.
Yeah, somebody needs to do something about him. Same thing we need to do with the beavers down here that's built a dam 8 foot tall and about 20 foot wide in our creek. Biggest one I think I've ever seen, I can tell you that.
That's a big one.
I was trying to figure out what was going on. I got a picture from him the other day with the big pile of tannerite in the floorboard. And I was like, y'all better be careful with that.
20 pounds, and it didn't touch it. But people about 7 miles away heard it, and I shook everybody's windows around here.
Oh, I can imagine.
We had everybody freaking out around here. But anyways, tonight we're just gonna kind of do. We said we were going to do more of these throughout the year, and this is a good time to do it. We're going to do a BBU update, just kind of the happenings that's going on. Dr. Bauer, you had actually went to California not long ago. We're going to talk about that. The board meetings that were, I guess they were 2 or 3 weeks ago now. San Antonio, we're going to talk about those. So we'll kind of get going. Dr. Bauer, how was your trip to California? Can you tell us a little bit about why you were there? What, obviously you were there for the breed, and maybe just tell us a little bit about what went on.
Yeah, so last week I went out to the World Ag Expo in Tulare, California. Huge ag expo, over 200 acres of everything, anything to do with any type of agriculture, farming, dairy. And then we are actually the only beef cattle breed that's represented there. The Western States satellite out there has done a good job in promoting that and actually getting a little sale set up. They had some nice cattle out there, sold, some purebred females, some purebred bulls, and some commercial females, and did a pretty good job selling those out there. Got some good interest and people just kind of interested in the breed. Just trying to revitalize that area. You talk to a lot of the guys that have been out there, and they used to run Beefmaster all over the place out there out west and loved them. So just trying to revitalize that area and get some more activity out there. One of our board members is actually from California, John Evangelo. He was there representing the breed and helping promote the breed and everything. So it was really good to have him there as well. But it was a really good trip. Lots of promotion for the breed, lots of publicity. So
yeah, that's awesome getting the breed out there and hopefully helping attract new breeders and helping the ones that are already out there working hard.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's a great opportunity, especially if we're the only beef breed that was represented. That could potentially be huge. And while we're on the subject, it's not something I saw a post. Maybe it's been a few months now. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was actually posing the question. You know, in the Southeast and the Midwest, which I consider Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, um, Missouri. There's seems to be tons and tons of Beefmaster breeders. The I guess the vast majority is kind of there.
Yeah, that's going to be our bread and butter is, that area, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and throughout the Southeast, Arkansas.
Um, and I think what they were kind of wondering is it that the cattle don't do as well in other places, or how do we build? I guess the question would be how we build market share in other areas. And I think what you did going to California, trying to grow that is really about the only way and maybe the best way to even do it is just get out there.
And I'm going to say BBU is going to do their best to get out there and help promote the breed as much as we possibly can. Um, but some of that's going to come back to the breeders as well. That's one of the things that I want to push is, we've got young breeders like both of y'all that have done a great job in representing the breed and promoting the breed. I want everybody out there. Everybody knows somebody that wants to get into cattle or is getting into cattle, and let's promote the breed to them. Let's promote what we've got going on, and really push this breed and push forward with this breed. I think that's vital. Like I said, BBU is going to do everything we can to help, but it also takes that grassroots, that ground level effort from breeders as well.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, it's we're the ones that's all of us breeders are scattered out across the country or in our regions, and if you've got an event like say what something like Lance went to, or take the opportunity to go represent yourself and the breed itself, and make sure you do a good job of it, and that's the best way to get out there is let people see us and things like that. So no, that's definitely right, Lance. I think that's up to a lot of that needs to be on the breeders too.
And you don't have to get technical with it. With somebody asks you, just give them your personal experiences. I mean, you don't have to have some technical answer that's 4 miles long. Just tell them, hey, this is what I experienced from the commercial industry or from however you started to when I bought my first bull. Just like us, we bought our first Beefmaster bull and we could tell the difference just with a snap of a finger. I mean, it's that simple that just in wean weights alone, even for a commercial guy, they were way better than the other bulls we had in the past, and that's what drove us to that. And then we decided to go, obviously, um, all registered, full registered herd, and best thing we could ever done. But I think it's important that you don't have to be a scholar or have your doctorate degree to talk to people about this, because most people are going to relate to you in your area anyways.
And on the BBU update front, we do have some really neat research that's about to kick off. I mentioned the maternal heterosis research that University of Tennessee is doing with us. We're actually going to dig more into that and look at economic value to those maternal traits and trade-offs with terminal traits, and really look at the maternal value economically of a Beefmaster female and Beefmaster influenced cattle. And I think that that's going to really resonate with people because this is a business and we're in it to make money. And if you've got the economics behind it to say, hey, look, these Beefmaster cows, you use them, you get this return on your money, this is the economic value to using them. We're going to see some growth there. So we've got that research started. Plus, I'm trying to get some research started in the feed yard on the economic value of Beefmaster cross steers, reducing death loss, reducing sickness, increasing average daily gain, reducing costs. All going to go back to economics. Because it's to the commercial guy, which that's what we're producing these cattle for, is for the commercial industry at the endpoint. To them it's dollars and cents. It's a business, and so the more economic data we can put out there for them, the better off we're going to be. So I think those are two really neat things that are coming up that we're going to be looking at and really help propel the breed.
Yeah, I think that's great. I'm excited about that, especially on the maternal deal with Tennessee and get that economic point because that's a hard thing to pinpoint, but if we can get something on top of that, that's going to really be a valuable asset to us as a breed and our marketing standpoint to get those guys get on that because like you said, you got to, sustainability is a big thing coming up but economics is part of that sustainability and we got to get folks they want to make money. They got to make money and stay in business. And if we can show them we can make them a little more, that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I mean I can't say penny anymore. Every dollar counts. Um, and if I can make you another dollar on, or whatever, it always, if you don't want to make more money and be more profitable, you don't need to be doing anything really. So yeah, I mean, I agree 100% that all the research is a huge thing, and especially if we can get it in the right people's hands once the research results come out, I think that'll be the big jump, and I think we would gain a lot of market share doing that. Um, kind of moving forward, going to the a few weeks ago, the board meetings. So we have board member and the executive vice president here. You want to go over some of the stuff that you went over at the board meetings, or at least tell us how they went?
Yeah, so we had a really smooth set of board meetings. February 4th, we actually held it at the Minger Hotel, which we can get into this a little bit later, but we're actually having our convention there October 30th through November 1st of this year. I encourage everybody to come to convention, but we had those board meetings there at the Minger. A lot of really good discussion on progressing, moving the breed forward, things to do that we're going to in the future. Now it's kind of hard. Everything moves a little bit slow, but moving forward, and where we are, we talked about the paperless and that transition to paperless, which I know has been a little bit confusing to some people. So I'll kind of try to clear some of it up. We aren't saying that you can't turn in the old school papers like you used to. We're not saying you can't fill out the back of the papers. You can still fill out a paper registration form, send it into the office. But what this is really allowing you to do is transfer these animals effortlessly. Any animal that's in your herd that you sell, you can transfer right away with the click of a button. So we're working through everything there, but it's set up now to where if I'm transferring an animal to you, Josh, I'll just click transfer. Should send an email to both of us that the transfer has been initiated, and when the transfer is finalized by payment, that animal will show up in your inventory. You can go online, you can request if you want that official certificate from BBU. You can request it. It's $5 for the first one, $1 for each individual certificate after that on the same order. Um, you can also go online, print your own certificates. If you hit view certificate, you'll notice that the word copy or unofficial has been removed. So you can print either black and white or a color copy of that certificate. So that's really the big deal with paperless is it allows you as a breeder to not have to rely on sending everything to the office and make it there with the US mail and then make it from the office with the US mail wherever it's going, because as we all know, the US mail isn't exactly the most reliable.
Yeah, that's the truth.
It's just
I,
right. Yeah, it's very true.
I,
I mean, go
which
ahead, Greg.
I'm just saying I'm a board member, so I obviously voted for it, but it's kind of one of them things. I think it's good for I think it's great because it reduces that overhead cost and time as well. Because just like Lance is saying, if I up and say, hey, I've got a guy in the pasture want to buy a bull, I can go back to the house. And if I ain't got him registered, get him registered and have him transferred and pay him a payment before he even leaves the yard, if I wanted to. I mean, it's and print it off if you need to, if he wants a copy right then and there. I don't have to wait for it to come in the mail or go to him. So he can see the updated information just right there at your fingertips, so I really like it, and like Lance said, my advice would be to the breeders that do want the hard copies and want them printed, just try to register as many as you can at one time if you are worried about the cost. And but as a member, I voted for it just because I think we got to operate efficiently, and I think that's one way to do that. But it allows everybody the choice of what they want to do.
And I got a couple comments. First thing I'm going to ask, because I do know that it's been from a non-board member. I'll be the membership side here. I've saw a couple questions wanting to know if you go online the database and you hit print certificate, can that be used as an official quote unquote certificate?
So, I mean, if you're sending that certificate to somebody, that's as official as it's gonna get unless you request the official from the office. Like some of these kids that are showing, they're gonna have to request the official certificate from the office, just because some of those shows require that official certificate. Because you won't have the backside with the bill of sale on it,
Okay.
when you
That was
print
kind of
it.
where I was asking, because
Yeah.
I saw a couple of those questions asked, and I know there had been answers on there, but I don't know if everybody how clear, you know what I mean? I just want to make sure that question is answered, because I know that was one of the things. But here's the thing, just like y'all said, and I'm gonna say it again. No one is saying that you can't do it the way you've always done it. There's my hot take for the day.
Yeah. Well, and just following up that comment, we hold some shows and stuff as a county agent, and I'm not that type of stickler. If they give me a copy and that tattoo matches that paper, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure there are some out there that they'll have to have the copy, like Lance says, with the bill of sale thing on the back and all that. But I think if I was a junior member or someone wanting to go to a show and you haven't been there before, I'd probably make sure to have the official copy just in case.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and like you said, it doesn't cost a lot, but I think what everybody's got to understand is in everybody's daily life, name me one thing that hasn't gone up in your daily life over the last, let's just even call it 2 years. You can't name anything. There's at some point there's got to be, you've got to recoup costs of some sort, because even down to printer paper, it costs money for BBU to buy that, and it costs a lot more than it used to. So I think nobody likes change, right? So I think that's probably the bigger part of it is it's just change and nobody likes it. I don't like change, but I mean, it has to happen. So everybody out there listening, just know you can do it just like they said, the way you've always done it, but it may cost you a little extra to, if you want paper copies. I personally like the digital copies because I hate going in my file and trying to dig up every last certificate I've got to find one that I may or may not have. So,
And you can lose them like I've done before.
absolutely. Well, and two, we've all done it, and and I'm not casting blame on anybody, but we've all bought private treaty from somebody that has took forever or either completely forgotten to send the paperwork in. Well, this eliminates all that, because now it's essentially immediate. I mean, they go in, couple clicks, it's done. So I think it's fantastic. I like it, but I also know that there's I also understand the other side of it where people don't want change, but I think this is something good. I don't think it's as big of a change as a lot of people's making it out to be. Um, but I think anytime you change something, you're always going to get a little bit of flack, good or bad, no matter what, no matter what it is. Was there anything else that was kind of talked about at the board meetings that you think everybody should know?
So one thing that was talked about at the board meetings, and this kind of goes back to the paperless, because of work processing and used to, you'd have to pay to get the papers out and everything. we have gone to where after, and it'll be implemented March 1st, anything that's over a 60-day balance, it'll be April 30th. Anything that's over 60-day balance, that account will be frozen until you pay. When you do pay, you're paying basically the oldest work is what gets paid first. So it's not gonna be like, well, I need to pay for this one that I did yesterday, but I've got 30 that I did three weeks ago. It's gonna start with the oldest work up to the newest work when you pay.
Are there any, um, just so we know, are there any does BBU charge late charges at all, or is it just pay your bill?
It's just pay your bill. There's no late charges, there's no interest on those aged accounts or anything like that. But, and we are in the office going to really work hard on, trying to make sure that we get monthly statements to everyone, either via email or through the postal service. You will be receiving a monthly statement if you have a balance due. And we're gonna work hard on, when those transfers come in, hopefully you'll be paying attention, be notified. Hey, I've got a balance on this transfer. And that'll all go back to whole herd reporting like we talked about in one of our previous podcasts. If you're on whole herd and that animal falls within the free transfer time frame, well, you don't have to worry about paying for that transfer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point to make, and kind of shine the light on the reasoning behind the 60-day deal is just to help the office stay more cash flow positive. It's hard when you have bills out, could be 3 to 6 months, so that I think that'll help us stay current with their billing and cash coming in and stuff like that.
Well, I've noticed the monthly statements, and I like that because I get an email, and if there's something on it that I missed, which I'm not gonna lie about, there is, I've got to go back and get that paid. But if I haven't been on there in a while, I get that monthly statement. It shows me all of my charges, and if there's something left owed, it'll show you at the bottom, and you can run back up and look at the invoice. Um, I really like that as well. That's a great thing that we're doing. If anything, just for a reminder, just to kind of say, hey, I've got to go pay this. Anything else? I mean, was there anything other than the paperless that we need to discuss from the board meetings? I mean, I will tell you, I will say this, and I wasn't able to get on there, but just the fact that we were offered and able to remotely watch the board meetings on our computers. There again, you're never going to please everybody, whether it be time, day, whatever it is, weather. You're not going to please everybody, but just the fact of, hey, here's the link. If you'd like to watch it and be a part of it, you're more than welcome to. You don't have to be here.
Yeah, and so we're planning on doing that with the future board meetings, the ones that'll happen in June. At the June meetings, as well as the ones in October, we'll have that same setup to where, you know what, if you can't be at the June meetings, um, you can come sit in on the board meeting. If you can't be at convention, you can sit in on the board meeting. It may not be at the most opportune time, like you said, for somebody to sit in on it, but that opportunity is there, that opportunity is available. So you can sit in, you can hear, what the board's discussing, why, you can hear the thought process on, why we're doing what we're doing, as a breed. But I do think it was really good, positive discussion the entire time with the board, um, and just moving this breed forward. And I think we've got a very progressive board that has the best interest of the breed in mind, which is awesome and great. And I enjoy working with all of them.
And like I said, I enjoyed the meetings. That's actually the first time I'd been in San Antonio, which is hard to believe as much times I've been to Texas, but enjoyed the staying at the hotel and definitely recommend everybody coming out to the convention this fall because it'll be the same deal and it'll be a lot of fun. We got to go over to the CattleCon conference too, and that was fun. Uh, that's something that if you've never been to that before as a cattle breeder, it's something you definitely need to try at least once because it's a lot to take in and a lot to see. So lots of new stuff out there too, and technologies, and getting to see everybody is always fun.
And I mean, I spent the rest of the week there after the board meeting at NCBA in meetings and on the trade show floor. And like Jared said, it's a great experience. If you haven't been, try to make time to go. If you can't go to that, go to a state or local cattlemen's association convention. You know, get to know people, see where the industry's going, see what you can do to, you know, better yourself and promote yourself, promote the breed. Um, you know, we had a booth there, had several producers in the booth with us. Next year in Tennessee, you have to book it a year in advance, and we're the first booth when you come in through the front door of the convention center there in Tennessee next year. So we'll try to have a really good big presence in Nashville. And you know, one of those things, get out there again and promote yourself, get out there and learn. Like Jared said, there's all sorts of new technologies that are at these conventions, things that you can see and learn about. So put yourself out there. It can be exhausting to be there for a week, but get there for a day or two and just see what's going on in the industry.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Even like, just, one day is, I mean, I don't know, one day is enough to see it all thoroughly, but you could get a lot done in a day's time, especially with maybe some of the seminars too, if you kind of get in with them. But just being in the trade show is pretty neat seeing all that stuff. So I really enjoyed the trip, and kind of comment with Lance and Josh about the being able to hear the meetings online through the Zoom deal. I think that's a great deal. I definitely encourage people to hop on and listen to that so you can stay in tune with what's being said at the meetings. Because obviously a lot of times that's where some of the, I say, discrepancies come from the deal, as people hear this or that. Listen to the live meetings, always the best. And it's always hard to get everything lined up, because obviously if we're going to have it in person, we got to have it somewhere that may not be local to you. Obviously we had to fly and spend a whole day getting down there just for our meet, being as a board member too. So the board members have to travel and spend their time out of their money in their own pocket to do it. So uh, it's a lot for them to do, and they're happy. We're all happy to do it. Just saying that it's a lot for us as well. So.
And it's something you just said right there. I want everybody to hear that. Board members don't get paid anything. They spend money out of their own pocket to go to these board meetings and support our breed and to try to better our breed. So I get it. Everybody gets aggravated about something, but don't ever think that they're taking money for, or at least even at the least getting their trips paid, because that comes out of their own pockets. And I think that says a lot about our board members, because not everybody in the world is going to be willing to spend however much to fly to San Antonio for one day. I think you were just there for a day, right?
Well, we stayed an extra day for the trade show and stuff.
Okay. But for a day to 2 days max, miss work, miss family time at home, do a lot of things, miss a lot of things. And all they're doing, and they're volunteering their time. So if you see a board member, I urge everyone to thank them, at least thank them for what they're doing, whether you like what they're doing or not, or if you like the way they voted or not. That's irrelevant, because you have to put yourself in their shoes. Are you willing to do all that travel and to purely 100% volunteer your time? And a lot of people probably are, but there's a lot of people that probably go, oof, probably wouldn't do that. But I'm just making a point. I just felt like that should be made, because that is a very important point. I would love to be able to go to CattleCon, especially since it's in Nashville, maybe next year. At least for a
Won't
day
be
or
too
two.
far. Maybe they'll have the road done by then too.
Shoot, yeah. That opens up March 1st, supposedly. We'll see.
Oh yeah,
Just
okay,
one
that's
lane,
good.
but we'll see. It's still gonna be backed up, but at least we're getting something done. But kind of wrapping up the evening, maybe we can go over some just some important dates. Lance, do we have the dates for committee meetings yet? Have those been set, or are they kind of still being
So
talked over?
those are set. Let me get those pulled up real quick.
16th and 18th of June, I
16th,
think. Yeah.
16th through the 18th of June in College Station will be the committee meetings, and then the board meeting will be that 18th. So 16th and 17th will be committee meetings. That's a Monday and Tuesday, and the board meetings will be Wednesday. You know, there's just we got more and more sales popping up. So we just had to work with what we've got, and we've got board members that have to be at sales at the end of week. So 16th through the 18th of June in College Station. As soon as we get the hotel block and everything locked down, we'll send out information to everybody on that. You know, and then like I said, that uh October 30th through November 1st, be great to have everybody that can be there in San Antonio at the Minger Hotel. For convention, it's going to be a really good convention. They got a lot of cool things planned. Um, the Minger Hotel sits right next to the Alamo. The Alamo's undergoing a big renovation right now. And one of the things that they're really working on is they're calling it, I think it's the Stampede or the Cattle Drive, but it's really focused on the history of cattle in Texas. So it's kind of really a neat deal. It'll tie in really well with convention. Um, we'll probably have, it's looking like our sale is actually going to be on the pavilion in front of the Alamo.
Well, that's awesome.
So really, really neat. The Minger is a great hotel. It's a historic hotel. I love Teddy Roosevelt. That's actually the hotel where Teddy Roosevelt recruited all the Rough Riders. So it's going to be a really good time. And
Yeah, I was going to say that's something I enjoyed being there, was looking at all the who's been there over time, and they got all these pictures of different people been there and stuff like that, and it's pretty neat. And also seeing the Alamo is pretty cool too. So
And it looks like a super nice place. I mean, it looks like a really nice hotel.
yeah, it's neat. Like my room, I looked out the window and you can see the Alamo just right there out the window. So it was
Oh,
pretty
that's cool.
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm for sure going to try to be there. I hope everybody else can kind of make plans to be there because I think it's going to be a good time. Something else important, and I don't know. I know all this is up in the air, but I think I can probably say this. The convention is going to start moving around again, I believe, to different states. Is that right, Lance?
so basically the convention's going to go back to what it had kind of, I'm going to say kind of traditionally been, was about 2 years in Texas and then 1 year outside of Texas. And we're going to try to have about 3 years out planned, or this is 25. So we're going to try to plan out to 27 and possibly 28 on convention locations by June. That convention committee is reaching out, getting quotes from different areas outside the state for 26, and then a couple areas inside for 27, 28. And I think it'll be a good way to reach members that don't necessarily, be a little bit closer to some.
Be a lot easier for some to drive to them, where otherwise they may not be able to go or something like that. I think that's a pretty cool thing that's kind of going to get, and I'm going to say kind of get started back, but um, that way. And I mean, I think it's cool too because people that like to travel, they're going to be able to travel and see who knows what, at this point. So they're going to get to see a lot of different parts of the world, and that's a great time to come. We talk about getting out and seeing. If you're coming to the conventions or going to the conventions, find you some Beefmaster breeders that are close by because there's always going to be some, even if it's within a couple hours, that you could drive to for a day and see their cattle, talk to them, get to know them because, you know, that's to me still the most important part of this is networking.
What better way to network than at the convention of everybody that's breeding the same kind of cattle you got? So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
definitely put it on your plans.
Well, I think that's pretty much wraps it up for the night as far as kind of a BBU update. We're going to try to do these, like I say, more often this year. We're gonna hound Lance a little more often this year too. So, he's not off the hook yet.
Oh, that sounds good to me. And anything that you have questions with, that anybody has questions with, reach out to us at the office. We're there to help.
Yeah, absolutely. And if it's something you want us to hit on here, we can, even if it's on a different, we've got to finish our EPD series, and then we're going to move into some different things that we're talking about here for the year. And even if it's a quick excerpt, we don't mind, if you want to message us and, hey, we can mention it to Lance when we're on here, or anything like that. We don't mind talking on here about it. That's what this is here for, and that's what we kind of want to get to doing more of this year. Is bringing the information, for sure, the information that you all want, but having Lance on here and having the opportunity. If you don't know Lance, he is the most open person that I know, and he will talk about anything in this breed with you. And it proves it, especially on here, that he's willing to take time out of his evening to come on here and let us hound him a little bit. So
We sure definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But that pretty much wraps it up. And Lance, we appreciate you being on here with us tonight, and we'll see everybody on the next episode.
Thank you all.
Well, we want to thank everybody for listening to the Beefmaster Banner podcast. Please know that we are on Apple Podcast, Spotify, and we are on YouTube. Just search Beefmaster Banner. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We love hearing from you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.